find it hard to raise tuition for us to come here. They have to pay the money in bits and pieces. What, therefore, are you required to do if your parent is struggling to raise tuition? Work hard. I repeat those words I started with. Be focused. Be disciplined. Do something that will give your parents, your guardians, or whoever is assisting you to pay your tuition hope and motivation to continue doing so. Your circumstances of today, your situations of today, the challenge you are facing today do not determine your destiny. I remember when I was joining secondary school, that was my first time to put on the shoes. Because the school said, you must come with the shoes. If you don't come with shoes, you'll not be allowed. Throughout primary school, I was moving on flesh, we call it futubishi. I was moving on futubishi without shoes. But that did not hinder me from excelling at school. And I joined university to do law. Not hinder me. In other words, the challenges you have today, the hardships you have today, do not mean your destiny, your future is going to be hardships, hardships, hardships. No. The challenge you have today build in you certain character, a character of resilience, a character of determination, a character that I must make it. I know now my parents cannot afford to buy me 2 pairs of shoes like I've seen other students do, but I know in future when I excel, when I pass out of school, when I start working, I can buy myself all the good shoes that I want. Don't rush for things that you do not need yet. Why do you need a smartphone, for instance, if I may ask? For research. Ah, okay. I won't kaput it. I've failed on that one. Fine. What if your parents cannot afford a smartphone? And so should you get it at all costs? So the point I'm making is, yes, you want a smartphone to do research. But if you don't have no smartphone, but we're doing research. Library. Yes, you're right. We are doing research in the library. And here we are doing research. Okay? But the point I'm making is that do not allow the lack of a smartphone or whatever facility, which through would enable you to do research well and faster, to mean you cannot do research, or to mean you are not going to make it. You will make it, provided you are determined, you are focused, you are disciplined. Human nature is such that we can overcome anything, no matter what it is. I was telling the head teacher. I remember one time I returned from Catholic Secondary School during holidays. And I asked my mother, I said, you know what? I want soap. My father died when I was 17 years old. I said, my clothes are dirty. Soap, I want to wash. If you are lucky, you got a piece of soap on what we call black market, or sugar on black market. In the soaps, in the shops, they were not there. So my mother said, no soap. You see that tree there? There was a shrub, the compound. At night, it used to give a nice scent at night. Not whether they are still around. So she told me, pick the leaves of that shrub, put them in water, squeeze them, they'll give you a foam like soap, put your clothes and wash them. That's what I did. In those days, we had no solar power like we have in homes today. We used paraffin, Tadova. How many of you know Tadova? Tadova. We're using Tadova. But even paraffin would not be there. So in most homes, people would eat at 7 p.m. outside before it gets dark inside the house. They had no paraffin for their Tadova. To go inside the house, they would pick a piece of wood and wood with fire so that you see where you are going. Resilience, determination is what will carry you through, not the challenges. The challenges should not kill your dream. So as I go on about elections in this country, remember We have said now we are preparing for the 2025-26 general election, which are supposed to take place in the 2026. However, by the time we get to that day for voting for president, members of parliament, district chairpersons, mayors, and so on, we have so many activities which take place. Registration of voters. Those of you who are not registered voters, you register as a voter. We shall have candidates who will get nominated and start campaigning. And they will come to you, support me. You be the person to do this for me. Then we have campaigns when candidates will be running all over the country, looking for votes. What is your role? As I've said once, you must observe. Do not be a law breaker. Do not get in confrontation with the security and law enforcement agencies. Do what you know is right. Any responsible citizen must obey the law, must follow the law. Any responsible citizen must follow what the Electoral Commission says we should conduct how we should conduct ourselves during this electoral process. Therefore, my appeal to you this morning, the students of this great school, that you have a role to play in this country. The future is in your hands. You are the future leaders, the future chief justices, the future ministers, the future MPs, and so on and so forth. The time is now. When the season comes for a farmer or for farmers, because this region is a farming region, you'll not find farmers at home at 9 o'clock right now. They are busy in the garden. This is your garden. You are preparing your garden. You are planting good seed. You expect to reap a good harvest. But for you to reap a good harvest, you must be serious with your garden. You must weed your garden. You must make sure the pests do not come to destroy your garden. In other words, you must make sure you do not get distracted. You must make sure that you do not get lured into things that do not add value to you. Why do you want to go and spend the whole night in our time it was a disco? What do you call them now? Hadang, when I'm a student, when I'm supposed to concentrate on my studies. What does it add to you? And secondly, who says some of these things you will miss them after all? My brother, when you forgo some of these things which are so enticing now, because you don't have one now, we go for it. No. The Bible says there is a time for everything. Is the time now for boyfriends and girlfriends? Reading is fun. Believe it or not, you must cherish it. You must preserve it. You must protect it. You must fight for it to remain what it is. Let us fight for our Uganda. Let us not allow people to come and instill in us things that have no value to us. We have the right to choose what is good for us and to say no to the things that have no value. The practices that are practiced in other countries are not our practices. Therefore, we say no to them. And I can assure you, if we remain united, if we love our country, if we are committed to our country, nobody will overwhelm us. If God is on our side, who can be against us? I thank you for listening to me. Now I can take a few questions. A few questions before I leave you to go and do other things. Any few questions?
Your take. What is your take on the violence imposed on electorate during the election period?
What is your name?
Letitia.
Letitia.
Yes.
Yes.
My question is, what is the commission's mandate? What power does it have to ensure fair elections?
Is before others. And my question is, the Electoral Reforms Bill 2019 was tabled before the bill passed. Some contents are included: making the vice president a running mate to the president during elections, withdrawing the UPDF representation in parliament, and also revival the presidential term limit. What is your take on this bill, and is it good for the country? Thank you.
I think I have two questions. In the recent elections that Kenya had, they adopted new reforms such as televising the election process and the voting base. Is Uganda also looking at such that Kenya has adopted in the next election? Televising the election process. And is the Electoral Commission of Uganda looking at the expansion of the voter base?
Question. It was just of recent when I came across an article in New Vision. It was saying one of our presidential aspirants, 2021, Katumba John Woye, he was complaining that his political party has been rejected by the Electoral Commission. So my question is, what are the requirements needed for the political party to be registered? Thank you.